Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking over SynthMaster 2's marvelous sequencer. And I'd like to say hello to everyone. We're doing it in Cubasis. So what you've just heard to SynthMaster 2, so everything there is SynthMaster. And it's a sequencer. Now, okay, so hi Thomas, hi Josh, hi Stefan, how are you? Hi Wal. Hi Audible, Colin, Ivan, and Josh, I think is everybody who's chatting at the moment, right? So, okay. We'll set up a fresh one, but that's the kind of cool stuff you can do. Now, the cool thing is that, remember SynthMaster Player had all these brilliant packs in, okay? And we know that, like, well, we should know by now that SynthMaster Player presets were originally made on the desktop with SynthMaster 2, but now we have SynthMaster 2. Inside iOS, we can adjust everything that was originally in SynthMaster Player and have it adjusted and altered as we see fit. Now the thing is, here's the thing. Let's add. Actually, let's just duplicate this particular track. I'm gonna mute those as well, but I'm gonna duplicate this one here. Duplicate. And unmute it, and then I'm going to delete the MIDI from this one here. So let's open it up and have a look. So let's go full screen. Let's go into browse. Now you'll see that all these expansion packs here are also the ones that are inside SynthMaster Player. But SynthMaster Player was a preset player, and your only option really was to turn off the ARP, not to do anything else with it. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because we don't need to keep that piece of stuff here. Let's just delete both of those and this one as well. So we're just left with this one. I'll just change the color to something that I like better and open it again and go full screen. So you have Dawn of Electronic Music, all this big tone stuff, Dawn of Electronic Music's volume 1 to... So if we go Dawn of Electronic Music Volume 1, one of the sequences here is this robot sequence. And this will straight away give you a kind of feel for the absolute brilliance of SynthMaster 2 over SynthMaster Player, of course, because you can now go in and redesign that sound to suit your own track. Now if we go with layer 1 here, which it is, and I play a note on the keyboard, let's just turn it down a little bit. Okay, so it's the robots, right? It's well famous. You can play it in any key you like in SynthMaster, of course. Okay, if we look at ARP sequence here in this section, and then we hit this little plus button here. And this is where you're going to be able to do all your adjustments and stuff like this. You can hit the little plus button, and there's the sequence. And we can see it's running over 32 steps as it is here. So let's just for now, let's go with 16 steps. And then we can also adjust the notes. Now, you see the highlighted things are the actual notes. So as soon as we start to adjust those notes, of course, we're going to change the sequence. Well, yeah, I mean, even if they hit me with copyright, it's 30 seconds. So I'll just ping you. But I'm going to change this one to this one. I'm going to set this one here to this A. I'm going to drop this one here down to here and take that one out. Now, this is a polyphonic sequencer. Okay, so, you know, that's what's very cool. This one here, let's take the velocity right down so the note won't even hit. We can take it out if we want to. And let's take the velocity down on this one and take the note out. Let's adjust this note to the same note as there. And let's knock this up to there. And now we've got a completely different sequence, but the sound is the same. And that's what we've got if we turn arpeggiator off. Switch it off completely. We can just play the sound. So it means that if you really liked the sound, this is recording the sequence by the tape. So let's take some of these velocities back up. Let's hit sequence again so it's on red. Okay, so I've now built a new sequence. Let's put it back onto play. Now it's going over 24 steps, so I'm going to adjust this again to 16 steps. I'm going to make sure the velocity's up on that. I'm going to hit the red button again, and I'm going to record a new sequence in. I'm just using the MIDI keyboard. Okay, so not sure why it's jumping over me a lot of steps. Go back to play. But if you set it up at initial, it works fine. Okay, so let's choose another one. Let's close this, by the way. Go to browse, and you've got all sorts of really famous sequences. Let's go to number 2. So it's a fab sound. You can, of course, you can choose the kind of thing you want, like by just narrowing the search here. So I'm not sure how they've actually these actually categorized them. So well, we'll go into historic synth giants, and that's an arpeggio. So let's see, maybe we've got to find something that says sequence. Maybe that's from Dance on the Volcano by Genesis. Okay, so let's go back to our layer here. We can hit browse and just take us back. We go into our sequence again, and there it is. We can open up our so let's again adjust this and this. And it's a mono sound, so it's cool. And swing this over. Now, when in sequence mode, we can jump to arpeggiator mode if we like. And if we but you've still got the actual sound there, and that's the key thing, is the sound. The sound is the key, which is brilliant. So you can find all these great sequences from days of yore by looking for anything that says sequence kind of thing. So like okay, so we're getting through some. So these are strings. So you can find anything that you like. Let's see if we can find something. Okay, so Yellow Magic Orchestra. Let's go into sequence for there. So let's hit browse again, get back into the synth. Let's go to ARP and sequence. We're already selected. Let's open it up. So that's going to have, so let's going to change some of those, otherwise I will get a strike. So let's see. Now the duration here. We're on to our second page here, so let's just reduce the steps to 16. So I'm going to set up something that sounds a bit more musical. That'll be okay. Put that on A. And this one on F. Or of course I could just record it in the sequence. So once you've adjusted the sequence to suit, we can then, let's make sure we've got a, so I'm just going to play, I'm just actually literally playing one note. We've kept the essence of the sound, but we've made some adjustments. But we've also changed up the sequence. And of course, if you wanted to, you could then save that as a completely new thing. You know, just by going to save and save preset as, and it'll save it as, I don't know, preset name. Let's call this, I don't know. We can actually see it, can we? I'm going to, right, it's empty. I'm going to call it yellow adjusted, okay, because it was YMO, and there we go, and we'll just hit save, and that will now be saved as a new sequence for us to use anytime, or a new preset. So anything you've saved is remembered. So if we hit our metronome just to give us a kind of counting, of course it's all synchronized together as well. So let's give this a 2 bars. I have it set for. And then so if we now duplicate this track, so we don't have to keep searching for SynthMaster, we can just select this MIDI and erase it, and then select this track, and we can go and find something else. Now here's another very cool thing. SynthMaster 2 has drum loops, which is awesome. So let's go to browse again. Let's open up full screen. These are quite easy to find. You go to drums, okay, and these are all your kind of, I mean, and there's zillions of them, but you know, But this time, the search field should work if we look for sequence / loop, and we start to select. So this one here, if I just play a key, or this one, or this one, there's lots of them you can start with. It's like a fill. I'm looking for something that's quite busy, like this. So this will actually be fine. Let's see. Oh, this will be good. This one. Maybe this one. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so let's come out of the screen view. Let's go into sequence. Let's open it up. Now this, oh, thanks SynthMaster, brilliant, thank you very much. Now, there's not, I don't know how you can change the actual drum sounds around, but I'm sure there is a way, but you can do some very cool stuff. So if we play our sequence here. Let's just lower the volume of the sequence. Right, what I'm going to do... Oh, sugar. My vape over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to record this as MIDI data, so I'm not having to keep holding the key. So again, we'll just do it the same way as before. We'll just hit... Oh. And I'm going to make sure that auto quantize is switched on, and for this, 8s will be fine. Keep loop on, go back to the beginning. I'm going to turn some light on here, so it's getting a bit dull. Okay, so we're going to open it up full screen, select the sequence. And here's the cool thing you can start to do, right? Well, it won't do anything, of course, but it's, watch. And there is different, you see it's in drum kit mode. So now you've got a completely fresh thing that you've changed stuff up on. Let's do this. So second track, I've got a 6144 on here. Do something interesting. So put a dub station on it. And then we can that means it gives us space now. So now we've created something completely unique from two of the stock sequences. Probably audible, I don't know, probably does. So let's find another sequence for this one, this section. Right, now, okay. Go full screen again. We'll browse. Let's try and find something like Pop Hits Volume 4. I'll just turn the volume down a bit. So. Okay, cool. That's good because it's you know it's a sequence. Again, we'll go in here. And this time we'll mess it up a little bit to suit our tracking key that we're working in. I'm going to reduce the steps to 16. So I'm gonna so okay. So what we can do now is we can select both of those, make sure they're on there, and just copy and paste them. And then for this second, actually I can just hold. Okay, I can add that, this one. So we turn the loop off. Just want to highlight that. Now, what you can also do is on this one, which is our drums, let's turn dub station off just a sec and just play it. If we go back into SynthMaster now, we can start to make the drum pattern more exciting. So you could have frozen that, duplicated the MIDI, which I think is very, very, very cool. So let's create another one. Actually, let's just duplicate this one because it's easier. Duplicate, and then we can just delete the MIDI from there. And SynthMaster has it has so many sequences, but like, you know, beforehand you would be really hard pushed to, you might love the sound, but you really want to be, see, we're on our drums now, but let's go and browse for some more sequences. And some of my favorite stuff is the old like historic synth giant stuff. You get loads of stuff in there, and really you've got to be looking down for, well, that's nice. For sequences and stuff like that, there's usually a few in each. synth sound. It's a good one. Spiral. Okay, let's do this one because it's very famous. Let's have a look. Now this is nice because you can go and mess this up. So, and then but you've kind of still got the same sound. So let's open it up. See what they've got going on. Only 8 steps. Look. You can change the bass time, of course, down to say, let's change it down to 1/8. Very cool. Leave it at that. Now you've created another new sequence, but you've kept the sound. Of course, you can go and let's just get out of here a second. Let's go on to layer 2, which will be the hats. So for each layer, you have an independent sequencer as well. So we go back to layer 1. Actually, we'll stick on layer 2 a sec. It's awesome. I think it's great, I do. Change this one because Wally's right, that is a bit cacophonous. Not that there's anything the matter with cacophony. Right, let's browse. Ooh. This might be a lot nicer. Right, in fact, I'm going to make go in here and see what we've got going on. Okay. I'm going to record that over the length of it and make sure my finger's switched on and just... I think also as well, I will take back some of those drum hits. And then drop back in so give myself a 2-bar count. So now we've been a bit more sensible with the sequencing. Select all of those. God, what a waste. This is a pain in the ass. Right, so copy paste, deselect all of that, and for this second section I will add in this sequence. It's keeping things I wonder if it might sound nice at a lower register. Have a mess. What I'd probably do there is have it start and record it, and once I'd frozen it, I'd have stuff fade in and out. So I think I think that's what I would do eventually, sort of thing, if I was to keep working on this track. But you know, let's give ourselves a count in as per normal. It'll pick up next time now. Actually, let's see what it sounds like just played through. Let's take off loop. sounds pretty good, actually. I think it sounds all right. But really, the idea was just to show you that you can take any sequence and then you can adjust that sequence to suit your own track, but still keeping the original sound of the, you know, the classic patch or preset or whatever, or any sequence in there, including the drums. And there are lots and lots of drums. So before I go, I will show you something, excuse me, something else that you can do in there. This time we'll just do a new audio unit and we'll find it. Here we go, SynthMaster 2. And this time I'll just open it up for you. And yeah, there's the original patch. Let's open it full screen. Let's go to browse. Let's do what I said before. Let's go to drums, and then let's go to sequence and loop, and let's choose any drum. It doesn't matter. Let's go into layer here. Let's go into our ARP and effects for layer 1. You don't forget you've got 2 layers. You can use two different, thanks Thomas, 2 different sequences in each of those layers. So you can get really quite complex. It's really cool. So anyway, and then you have, you know, your 2 oscillators per layer, so you can have something going on in the background and not necessarily it be a sequence. Right, okay. So ARP sequence, let's hit the little plus. Now, there, right? So that's that drum pattern. And then, you know, we can mess with the velocity and or whatever. But if you hit the little gear here, you've got presets, okay? Now you've got sequencer presets, acid presets, and you've got drum patterns. And you've got all these drum patterns that you can choose from that will run in your sequence with your drum. So let's go Funky Vacation. Okay, let's go with, say, Jungle. And again, you still got your, the velocity can be either step, note, step and note. Okay, so velocity per step sort of thing. Won't make binding and won't make a lot of difference to the drum sound. The sample's too short, but you still got the, again, that won't really make any difference. Swing. Bass time. So resolution. You can go in and change your preset again. So like there's the on the run one if you were interested in sort of recreating that again. Drum patterns. I mean, you can get up quite quick here, so you can go up to 1/32. Oh, thanks, Audible. Bless you. Thank you. Anybody else fancy super chatting or super sticking? Please do. Also, if you haven't already struck the like, please strike it now. And you can go right down to it again. That's quite nice. Or you can make some velocity. Take some out. Swing it up a bit. So this is the kind of cool stuff you can do. But what you've got to do is you've got to dig in and have a look and have a mess around. Because what most people will do is find a sequence they like and use that sequence. Or they might go that far, but forget to look at things like there's presets and stuff, and there's all sorts of lock settings. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Lock the settings or unlock the settings. But there's all sorts of cool stuff you can do. You just got to go in and actually, literally, just have a mess around with the sequencer, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, because I know for a fact that loads of people with SynthMaster Player loved the sequencers. They love the sequencers, but other than turning the sequencer off, you kind of really couldn't use them, because they are well famous from sequencers from tracks and things, and there are many of them. However, using the sequencer mode like this and going into, say, this is in drum kit mode, but if you were in kind of sequence mode, you've got the keyboard to play with for the sequences. So you're literally adding notes in. This ain't going to work for the drums, but you know, you can program it as well. And also it's you can also do chords as chord mode as well here. But you can also do sequence, you can also do the arpeggiator, some basic things, and then back to drum kit sort of thing. You get quite the reggae groove going there, because we put some swing on it. It's awesome stuff. It's awesome stuff. There's nothing really. SynthMaster 2 it's such a vast synth, and it's been around for so long on desktop. They're very, very good at what they do, KV. And SynthMaster 2, if you're a programmer, I would find it very difficult for you to actually run out of ideas, because you can import your own samples, you can import your own wavetables, you've got gazillions of oscillators, you've got basically 4 oscillators spread over 2 layers, tons of modulation, more modulation than you could possibly eat on a Sunday afternoon. So yeah, it's just incredible. It's just stunning. It's stunning. It's stunning. And I wanted to look at the sequencer, because the sequencer is epic. If you've got one of these classic tracks that you're trying to emulate, changing up that sequence is going to be like key. You know what I mean? Of course, on the other hand, if you're a tribute band, there are zillions of sequences from famous tracks already in here, built right in. Anyway, gazillions and bazillions. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening, where we took a look at SynthMaster. Don't forget tomorrow night's live stream. I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow day, but tomorrow night's live stream is quiz night. Yay! So if you're around for quiz night, that would be absolutely awesome. Russ8889, our friend Russ, he designed all the questions. So if you are interested in joining in the quiz, and we only do it for fun, because the way internet streaming works is complex. Everything comes through in different times. But if you want to take part in the quiz just for fun, please join me and Joe. We'll be here presenting the quiz with questions by Russ tomorrow night at 8 o'clock UK time. Awesome stuff. Don't forget Jamie Mallender has been interviewed by Jade at 9 o'clock, so in 10 minutes time. So that should be fun, because we all love Jamie as well. So let's play out with this track. Hard to call it a track, really, but there you go. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. And thank you for the super chats too, and the likes and things.